Greetings from Podcastville. It's Monday the 22nd. Wash your motherfucking muffler and powder your dick. It's gonna be a good week. The Church of What's Happened Now is brought to you by Manscaped. You ever look at your fucking helmet and it looks like a fucking haunted mansion is surrounding it with all the hair and all the fucking funk? Well, listen, it ends now. It's time to trim your balls. It's summertime. You want to keep your fucking nuts fresh and your fucking dipstick on fire. I'm here to help you. You ready for this? Manscaped. They got precision tools for the family jewels. Manscaped has redesigned the electric razor, so no more fucking stressing out, no more anxiety, no more bullshit. What I'm going to do is this. The church family, the listeners, can get 20% off your first order when you use promo code CHURCH at manscaped.com. And if you order the perfect package, they'll throw in a free travel bag when you use code CHURCH. That's manscaped.com. Use promo code CHURCH for 20% off your first order. Hey, it's fucking summertime. Keep your balls clean. The church is also brought to you by Onnit. Listen, for all your supplements, Onnit is the way to go. Between the Shroom Tech, the Alpha Brain, the protein powder, the jerky, go to Onnit.com right now and on the way out, press in church and get 10% off your order delivered right to your house. The church is also brought to you by CBD Lion. Listen, the fucking search is over. I'm bringing you the thing that's going to keep you ticking for the rest of your life. CBD Lion, you could smoke in vapors. You could take the tinctures. You could take the gummy bears. Go to CBD Lion right now and press in church and get 20% off your first order. It's Monday. This song, what kills me about this song, Tom Papa, is that it came out with Pulp Fiction.
Yeah.
And all those little faggy kids started jumping up and down, thinking they heard it for the first time. This song came out when I was in the 6th grade.
Really?
I still remember going to dance, schools that you dance, and dancing to this and losing your mind with high heels and bell bottoms and shit.
Yeah,
dancing with Puerto Rican women and shit.
Trying to get a chain. I wore one chain with Mary on it, with the Mother Mary. There you go. I thought it was cool. I was always trying to get the chain lined up just inside the collar so it looked cool so the girls would see it. It's so goofy.
Now you're from Jersey originally.
Yes, sir.
No city at all?
Jersey, born and bred.
Jersey, born and bred.
Born in Passaic.
Okay.
At St. Mary's Hospital.
Know it well.
And then moved to Park Ridge, New Jersey. Beautiful. Then I moved right next door to Woodcliff Lake, and that was it. I was there.
Your parents work in the city?
My father did. My father worked in the city for a while. Yeah.
Took the train or the bus?
I think he drove.
Did he? Back then you would drive.
But he didn't do it the whole way. Then he started working in North Jersey after that. It kind of shifted. He was in sales. He sold early communication stuff. And then he was always commuting around there. He had one commute where he got a job in Hop Hog, New York, which is out in the ass end of Long Island.
That's all the way
from Jersey all the way to Long Island. And he did that for a year, and that was brutal.
I remember they tried to call me a couple of years ago. We got a great gig for you. Long Island on Friday night, 8 o'clock. Go fuck your mother in July. You know what that LII, whatever the fuck LIE is on a fucking Friday? And everybody goes, it's like the Jersey Shore now. When we were kids, you leave the night before.
Right.
You leave at when the bars closed. At 2, you went straight down the shore, fucking lit.
That's right.
Didn't stop for tolls. You had the fucking passenger throwing quarters.
Quarters in the basket of the Garden State Parkway.
You just went through.
Yeah, no cameras, nobody stopping you.
No, nothing.
But you cruised the whole way.
We cruised the whole way. I hear now it's bumper to bumper. I remember I had to talk Sebastian out of it. I actually had to talk. Sebastian was doing Vinny's Funhouse down the Jersey Shore. He's like, yeah, me and my wife were standing in the city. I go, are you fucking crazy? I go, there's a hotel down there. He goes, yeah, I went last time, but there was sand everywhere. I go, listen, on Fridays and Saturdays, you ain't driving back and forth. That's a 2
Saturday late wouldn't be too bad because it's all the renters come in Saturday morning. So Friday night and Saturday morning are brutal. And then once that's over, then you can kind of do it. But we were Long Beach Island. My family had a
Tremendous.
place there forever.
How beautiful. That was white people.
Oh, my God.
When we were kids, everywhere else was savages. LBI was white people. I dated a little chubby girl from LBI for a while. I stuck it out with that little chubby girl because our house was, they had a badge.
It was so
You went on the
nice.
beach. You had 20 feet.
Mellow,
and
just
then they had
families.
a fence between Seaside and you could see the water turn yellow immediately in Seaside with that Guido juice and that fucking
boardwalk. There was no boardwalk. There was like very low liquor sales.
How is it now?
It's the same. It's
Really?
exactly the same. It took a real hit during Sandy. During Hurricane Sandy, the ocean met the bay. And I remember I was in New York with my power off in the Village, living there during Sandy, and we had no power, but I was able to like generator it and went online and saw a picture from a helicopter of Long Beach Island, which is where I'd been going since I was 4 years old. And Joey, I didn't think it would ever come back. It looked like this is just gone. It was just water and like the tops of homes and the water towers, stuff like that. And I really thought, well, that's it. But then, it's subsided and now it's okay. It's, they have to really build up the beach and do all this other stuff. But it's just the same as it always was.
When I was a kid, it was LBI, and then there was one a little deeper. That's where class went.
Right.
That's where people with class went.
Yeah, well, there's like Avalon and Cape May.
Cape May.
Yeah.
There's something down there. That's where nice people went. Nobody yelled on the streets.
Yeah.
There was no fucking,
You had to drive south, though. That was the thing. The further you drove from the city,
Right.
the nicer it got. Because, it was, you're drinking in the city and just go to whatever beach is close. But if you want to take your family, you had to put like 2.5 hour drive in, and then it started to like kind of calm down. But there's the one, what's the one that doesn't sell alcohol? Between Atlantic City and Long Beach Island.
Yeah. I remember I don't remember the name of it. There was a place.
Space on the name, but
there's a lot of towns that are smart. They go, we don't want that corruption.
That's the
in
thing.
our fucking town in the summer.
Yeah, right, exactly.
I remember being a kid and going, I wonder, even noticing then going, because we'd be parking on side streets in front of people's houses,
Right.
walking 2 blocks with a case of beer, yelling with flip-flops.
Right,
And
exactly.
you're like, who the fuck?
Yeah.
And I would feel bad. I was always a gentleman at that age.
Yeah.
Like, I never started problems with people. If they said, look,
But you're
keep it
loud.
low.
You don't even realize it when you're a kid.
No, when you're a kid, and I started, like, I did the whole shore thing.
Yeah.
Like, I started with, like, first you go to the shore that's by, not Asbury Heights. Yes. There's a beach.
Asbury Park?
Yeah, there's the beach next to it. No bueno. The first time we went down there.
Where were you living?
I was living in Hudson County in a town called North Bergen that's
North Bergen,
next to Union City and Hoboken, right there on the water. I'm what they call a real deal tunnel rat. Like,
Yeah,
that's my,
that is.
that's my fucking life down
Yeah.
there. But the shore, like, we live in California,
Right.
And I don't go down there. Like, I go down there once a year with the baby and
To the beach.
and we go to Orange County and get a hotel.
Don't you miss it? Like, I mean, isn't it weird we're in California and we're not at the beach? Like, you lived in New Jersey and you're at the beach all the time? Isn't it strange?
California is very deceiving because when you grow up on the East Coast, it's they don't show you Glendale. They never show you Burbank. They never show you the Valley. They always show you
Santa Monica.
no, not even. They always show you Redondo Beach.
Yeah. Right.
That's immaculate. And you're like, I can't wait to move to California. They don't show you Long Beach.
No.
People on bicycles and gangbangers and shit hitting each other. They don't show you none of that.
No,
they show
you're
you
right.
all this. They show you the beach.
Yeah.
So I've been coming here since I was 8, 9, 10.
Why?
Because my uncle's here. My mother's brother had a bar here. He came from Cuba, went to New York City, didn't like it.
And came
here.
here.
He came here as a maintenance man for an actor. He had a TV show. He told me the guy's name. He's a popular guy. He met him in New York. He lived in the building.
Right.
The guy took a liking for him and said, if you want to live in the guest house, I got a TV show. So the TV show lasted 1 season. It got canceled, and my uncle said, what am I going to do, go back to New York?
Right.
So he met a chick. He opened up a bar. But I still remember coming out here the first time.
Oh, wow.
Like, I was very disappointed. Besides,
Even as an 8-year-old.
SeaWorld was great.
Yeah.
Disneyland was kicking, and the Dodger game was on fire. But he lived in Glendale. It looked like Jersey to me.
Yeah.
It looks like fucking Jersey and parts
like
of Brooklyn. And
yeah,
shit
like
that.
not the good parts.
You know, you go on Lancashire and Burbank Boulevard.
Yeah.
They haven't done construction there since 1950. Bob Hope, Bruce Lee walked those streets. That
true.
Lancashire looks like fucking death.
Yeah.
The more north you go, you're like, what the fuck have these people been doing out here for 30 fucking thousand years? This looks like a fucking dive.
And it's all concrete, and
Oh
the
my
light
God.
is so harsh.
I
I can't tell if my sunglasses are on or off.
Horrible.
It's so bright and just, like tire shops and
Everything
I know.
just looks dirty to me. Like
Well,
when I
it
first
is.
moved
It's
in, it
dirty.
looks like sandy. Like it just looks like there's a big dust storm or something. I
And
don't
you
know.
like immediately think like, where are the rich people? And you're like, oh, they're in Beverly Hills, they're in Malibu, they're in Laguna. And you're like, oh, that's the nice beach, and that's where we're not going.
I went to Huntington. I take the girls to Huntington Beach. There's a hotel down there that has a bridge to the fucking beach. They give you free
Nice.
towels, free umbrella. It's all included.
Nice.
It's your own little private beach, and it's all for kids.
That's great.
At night, the kids have a movie. They cook hot dogs.
S'mores.
Yeah. They do that. They do that.
Yeah.
They give marshmallows with
Yep.
sticks and shit. It's 3 days of paradise, and they got 2 Dairy Queens. Not one. But
Really?
2 fucking Dairy Queens. We were there on New Year's Eve 2 years ago. Me and my wife were like, let's go down there for New Year's. New Year's, we're like, what are we going to do New Year's? We're going to
It's the
Dairy Queen.
best because there's not a lot of Dairy Queens out here.
No, there's not.
It's such a disappointment. When I was in Montvale, there was a Dairy Queen that our football coach owned.
You got
And it was a
cabbage,
drive up.
orange.
It was like the only thing. It wasn't a strip mall. It was just a Dairy Queen in a parking lot. And you just pull up and there'd be cute girls and your friends and you just get a Slurpee. I mean a Blizzard and hang out on your car. Oh, it was a dream. And then we came out here. No Dairy Queens. It was very hard to find.
Oh, a nice purple Blizzard with vanilla ice cream floating that motherfucker in the summer.
I like the
Drink
Butterfinger.
You drink all the grape juice and then you mix the ice cream with the ice like a Puerto Rican.
Nice long
Oh my
spoon.
God, nice long spoon. People can't imagine. And I was a
dream.
gavone, growing up. Look at me, I'm a fucking gavone. I would go in there, medium hot fudge and a fucking grape thing with a float. And there's
The best.
I forget-
Wait, is it like grape soda with
it's
ice
grape-
cream?
No, it's just
Like
the
slush.
slush.
Oh, it's the thing that
Like a
what's,
slush.
What's it? What's
Mr.
that?
Misty. They don't have them no
Mr.
more.
Misty.
Mr. Misty.
Oh.
It was-
Rita's, they have it, right?
It was called, but not.
Oh, the
Rita's is
Mr.
good.
Misty. You're right. And they put
Mr. Misty.
a blob of the ice cream
A blob
on
of
it.
ice cream on the purple. Oh my God! On the grape.
I like the green.
Oh. I was a purple motherfucker. all the way.
Green all the way.
But then I'm a Carvel guy.
Are you?
I'm a big time. And then Carvel.
Better than Dairy Queen?
Yeah, I'm a big time.
Really?
I'm very loyal to New York City when it comes to Carvel. I still get the cake on my birthday.
Because there's
In
some
my-
of those out here.
In my house, there's a Carvel cake every birthday. My wife, me, and the baby, we get Carvel cakes. Everything else is background music.
Which cookie? Which cookie puss?
No, we
Just
get the
a
little
straight
circle
standard?
one with the vanilla with
Right.
the chocolate sprinkles. And
You make
shit.
your wife get it too?
Yeah, nobody's got a choice. It's tradition. It's Cuban tradition. You got to go with fucking Tom Carvel. Oh, you ain't shit.
The best.
Dog,
the
in there, I
best.
would get a double cone, vanilla chocolate with colored sprinkles and whipped cream, and I'd get a chocolate shake thin. Walk
my
down Broadway, sipping the shake, and then like a gavone, I would dip the ice cream into the shake.
How high were you?
That's living.
How high were you?
In 1993, I drank a Carvel milkshake every day.
Every day.
Every day on the way home from Fort Lee to Cliffside, I'd stop in that.
my God.
Eddie Murphy
Yeah.
owned by Englewood Cliffs, Cliffside Park border with Fort Lee. There was a
Load
detail
up.
shop. There was a detail shop, and that was Eddie Murphy's one brother because they were living in Englewood Cliffs, and
Right.
around the corner was a Carvel, and I was an open micer.
In 93. When did you start?
91
In 91.
in Denver though.
Oh, in Denver.
Denver.
How'd that happen?
I was living in Boulder,
Oh,
and then I went back to
that
New
makes
York.
no sense.
No. That's
makes
a
no
different
sense.
story.
Yeah.
Then I went back to New York to see what the real scene was.
Right.
And
Because I started in 93.
So I just missed you.
Yeah.
I used to do the New York Comedy Club with Mikey Buschetti.
That was my first spot in New York Comedy.
See what I'm saying?
Yeah, yeah.
We missed each other somewhere.
Just, 93.
What made you start? You went to college.
I went to
What
college.
kind of degree?
Communications.
No theater, no nothing.
Yeah.
Okay, you did all that.
Didn't. My degree wasn't in theater, but I went to the school. I was an athlete my whole life, and I specifically went to Rider College in New Jersey because it didn't have football. So my father was like, "Maybe you'll play Division III and keep going," and I was like, "I'm done. I've been I've been playing football since I was kindergarten, and this 12 years later, I've done it. I'm done.
How do you feel?
How do I
Do you
feel?
believe they're doing all this shit with football numbers
I feel
down
fine
across the board?
I know.
I grew up with a bunch of I watched that on HBO Sports. How the numbers are down, and they're trying to even get girls to play football now to be punters and field goal kickers because the numbers are so down in football.
Yeah, I know. Well, everybody's so scared of the head trauma and all this, but I took a lot of hits to the head. But it depends where you're like. I was in suburbia. It was a lot of white kids. Not
You were Group 4?
Not many of those
Pascack?
monsters.
Where'd you
Yeah,
go to?
Pascack Hills.
That's Group 4.
Yeah, it was a good
And you
school.
play fucking towards the end. You play brick.
It was
East
tough.
Orange, Passaic.
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
when Passaic came to play us in like a scrimmage and stuff, it was like, all right, if I'm getting hit by that guy, that was like Hayward, Ironhead
Craig
Hayward.
Yeah, I played with him.
Yeah, he
That's
played.
crazy. Yeah.
And that guy was like a man playing among boys.
There was a kid in brick called Pete Panuska. Pete Panuska had a head, didn't even fit in the helmet. He was killing people.
Yeah, like if you got hit by guys like that, I could see it being a problem. But when you're just bouncing around other kids from Bergen County, you're probably not going to be in danger. And I took some hits. I remember wasabi behind the eyes, kind of like poof. But it was fine. I think it's fine. My father, though, who played all the time.
Did he really play?
He was like a big time in Clifton, New Jersey. And he was like state championship. Like this is when high school football, like the entire town was out with their hats, their fedoras, and their trench coats watching kids play football. Thousands of people watching these kids play football. And he was like the star, and he did it and loved it. And he was like he's still known in Jersey
What's
to this
his name?
day. Tom Papa.
Really?
And,
Tom Papa Jr.
Yeah. And he didn't want my nephews to play because his shoulders messed up and his knees messed up. And it's just, and he can't lift his arm. And it was just like, he talked to my nephew. I mean, this was his life. And he even coached me in high school. He came into the program to be a part of it. And he was like, and then the aches started settling in. And he's like, I don't know if you should play football.
It's weird because I did it after I watched that HBO Sport thing about a month ago. It was on right after the Super Bowl, right around the time of the Super Bowl. I did an inventory of the kids that were number one, just to let you know. And we can look this up right now. In 1978, my high school got ranked number one on the East Coast.
Wow.
We played Snyder. 7-6, we beat Snyder. And they had Walker Lee Ashley, who went on to the Minnesota Vikings and who won against the Raiders on a Monday Night Football interception. He was a linebacker.
Wow.
So
what school were you?
North Bergen High. When I was a freshman, those kids had played together since they were 5. Like those plays they taught you in Pee Wee football only got built up. So by the time you got to high school, you knew this guy. You knew this guy. You knew. All those kids I hang out with will always go, remember this? And I wasn't living in New York at the time.
Wow.
So I didn't play none of that Pee Wee football shit. I played in Jersey, in Union City. They had a semi-pro, no-weight league. And I did that for 2 years when I was in Catholic school. I would do that. The games were Saturdays, and they wouldn't let me practice.
Like rec.
They told me I didn't need to practice, and I did that. And it was okay. By the time I got to high school, I was a basketball player. I was a basketball player. So
no football?
No, I went my freshman year. They wanted me to play freshman year. I showed up. I did the scrimmage against Dickinson, where Blondie went to.
Right.
And a fight broke out. And I was so, I had dedicated my life to basketball.
Yeah,
I went to 5-star basketball camp.
Wow.
Booze down in Vineland.
What position?
I was a forward.
Forward.
I was a forward. And then my freshman year, I didn't start. It cracked me. I turned to drugs. Then my mother died, and that was the end of basketball. But I can still... Last night, I was watching the NCAA, and I tweeted something. And some kid goes, like you in 79th Street, taking it to the hoop. I was a really good basketball player. I was just so wild. The coach didn't like me. He just didn't like me.
Really?
But he cracked me. For years, I thought about going back and shooting him. Like for years, I was like, I got to shoot this guy because he fucked me up. But
No, it has impact. So when I was done with it, I was like, Rider College had no football. They got kicked out of the league for something, and I was like, I'm going here because they had theater, and I always wanted to be a comedian since I was a kid. But my parents wanted me to get a degree, so I'm in school. going for this communications degree, but I immediately to the theater department and started auditioning and taking classes, and I got in the plays, and that was it. All of my time was spent acting in the theater, and I got the degree and got through it, but that's when I realized this is my life. My life is not even hanging with friends as much as there would be parties and all the stuff, spring break, no. Acting, theater, hanging out there, just living, because to live this life, you can't live the life everyone else lives. You're not going to be partying on the weekends. You're going to be performing on the weekends. You're not going to be watching the big game on a Thursday night because you'll be in a club. You have to have that mindset that you don't belong. You don't go to the rhythm of the rest of the world. And that's what, when I was going to theater in college, that's when that shift happened. I remember standing in a Wawa in Lawrenceville, New Jersey on a Friday night when all my friends were having this rager party, and I just came from my show, and I'm getting a turkey sandwich at the Wawa and thinking, I'm so much happier doing this than partying with those guys at the party. And that's when I knew, okay, I'm built for this. I can go do this.
You were acting at that age. I dreamt of acting. Yeah. But I didn't know about acting classes. I thought you would bartend in the city.
Right.
And then some director would come in and go, hey.
Which happened a lot when we
were kids. It was Bruce Willis, and there was somebody else.
Mickey Rourke.
A bunch of people. So I thought that was the way in. And I got a job in Manhattan, and nobody ever fucking talked to me about acting.
Dan Aiello, right? He was the
52nd and 7th. I worked at the Sheridan Center for 18 months.
Wow.
Nobody ever fucking talked to me about acting. Van Halen stayed there.
I love the idea of you just sitting there thinking, I'm an actor now.
You really don't know.
You
really don't know until you bump into somebody who schools you and says, well, take an acting class. Then when I was in Colorado, right before I got put away, my roommate had a friend that was a camera guy.
Right.
And I would nag him.
Yeah.
Like, talk to your buddy, dog.
Yeah.
What do we need to do to get in the movies? He had just done a big movie in 87 or something.
Wow.
And I'm like, what do we have to do to get in the movies? So I thought it was just somebody picked you.
Isn't it funny, though? Like my little journey and your little journey, and then we ended up in a movie together.
202. Right? 202.
Yeah.
It's one of the worst movies of all time.
Analyze that.
God bless his soul. How great was he to work with?
Oh.
How just being there.
I know. Best.
I'm not even talking about De Niro. I'm talking about
Ramis.
the director, Ramis.
Yeah, Harold Ramis.
He set me straight.
Yeah?
He set me straight.
Really?
Yeah, I tried to pick his brain a little bit. He was very open because I had a reference. He was dear friends with a friend of mine in Chicago. So my friend took me to a restaurant one night on Monday nights. It was called Hold the Wall on the north side of Chicago. It was a little place. And Ramis went there. So when he goes, come Monday, I went to do the riddles and then take a fucking cab. Again, I'm like, I'm making $500 a week.
Yeah.
Now I got to take a cab to the North Shore, 90. Yeah. And I'm like, what the fuck?
I don't have the money.
But there you go. You're right. I went up there, sat down.
Yeah.
And sure enough, he came in and he goes, oh, you have a nice look, blah, 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 blah. So when I went in for a movie for Georgianne Walken's partner out here, I went in for the one about the guy from the Gong Show that was in the CIA.
Oh, yeah. That was good.
Movie.
Yeah.
98, 99.
Kinnear.
Yes. And she said to me, you're not good for this one, but you're good for my next movie. And she goes, what? And I made believe. I'm like, what's your next movie? She goes, analyze that. It's the script. They're working on it now. What I want you to do is send me everything you got. All the reel. And I had stand-up reel from the Laugh Factory with no sound.
Yeah.
I had short films. And then I got this film called The Mezzo Brothers. One of the reasons Big Pussy quit The Sopranos, well, he got kind of fired and left, was because he took a deal from ABC. In 2002.
I'm sorry, can I interrupt you for a second? What's so funny about that? I was like, no, they killed him and pushed him off the boat. Like, in my mind, that show was so good.
It's that good.
That I didn't even think of show business. Of course, something happened with his contract and he got fired or whatever.
No, whenever you would ask for money or raise, they'd launch you. Like 2 episodes later, you got launched. Everybody put it together like by the 3rd episode that I don't want to work for 10 points in scale. And they go, okay, no worries.
You're dead.
We'll look at it after this season.
I hate
episode 6. Remember they said that they wouldn't give you the script till the day of the table read.
Yeah.
And then you find out, fuck, I was about to get a raise. We figure your character
It's
should
so
die.
funny. As soon as you said that, I'm like, what do you mean? No, they killed him and he pushed him off a boat. I'm like, I really believe, and I also believe that they're still there in New Jersey.
He
I'm sorry.
blew the fuck up.
Yeah.
People have
right.
no idea how big Pussy was. Like, just the
Right.
name, people flipped out.
Yeah.
So he asked for more money. They fucked him, something. I don't know what really went down. I'm just telling you what I heard.
Right.
And at the time, ABC had bought a show called The Mezzos or some shit. Fox called a show called The Mezzos about two gay gangsters in Hollywood.
Right.
They worked out of that Pink Pussycat Theater. They drove a Cadillac and shit with a convertible Cadillac, and they would drive around to Aretha Franklin. We're going driving on the freeway of love. Fucking hilarious. So I guess they signed it, blah, blah, blah. The deal didn't really get developed. They weren't ready for the gay angle of two mobsters of the gay. We'll flip flip it.
Right.
And ABC and Fox said, forget it. But the guy still kept the rights, and he made a short film. And I booked a short film, and then I gave it to Georgianne Walker, and then she sent it to whatever in New York, and next thing you know, I got a call. There's a ticket waiting for you. Go to New York and read for Harold Ramis. And me like an asshole, I walked in, I'm like, hey, remember that night? Oh, yeah. You know,
That's
I had to
great.
take whatever you could in those days.
That's
2002, 2001, 2000.
Yeah, that was my first one ever.
Really?
First one ever.
How did you book it?
I booked it. I went for an audition and got through the first audition and got a call back. And you go the callback in Midtown Manhattan. And this is my first callback of a film ever, you know. And I get there, and the kid comes out, and he says, "Okay, so you're going to read with you're next. You're going to read with Bobby, and you just do the first scene. We're just doing the first scene today." I said, "Oh, okay, great." I figure Bobby's like, you know, the intern, the kid working the camera. And I walk in, and there's Harold Ramis and Robert De Niro, Bobby. I'm like, oh boy, okay, here we go. And I start reading it, and I'm in awe. I'm gonna be acting. If this never gets to the movies, I'm acting with Robert De Niro, and I'm in awe, and I start doing it, and this son of a bitch starts losing his place on the lines and stops in the middle of the scene, and he's mumbling, and he's like, I don't know what page are we on? I'm like in it. I'm like trying to win this
This
thing.
diamond looks yellow.
I
What
went
the fuck
from
yellow. That was the line, right?
Yeah,
What the
right.
fuck yellow?
Yeah.
And he caught himself. He goes, what the fuck? He caught himself.
Yeah.
The Chinese chick was banging.
Yeah, she
was
right.
hot as fuck, Jack. I'm like, look at Tom Papa coming to the field.
Yeah, so I went from wow, this is amazing, Robert De Niro, to fuck, Robert De Niro's killing me. Oh, but then I booked it. There was another kid who was reading for it too, who I knew from television. Like I'd seen him in stuff, and I was like, oh, so he's gonna get it. I guess that's how it's gonna go. And then I got it. I just couldn't believe it. And I just got that one scene with De Niro all day long. It was just, it was amazing.
Very cool. He's very
cool.
But
Ramis. Then Ramis called me like 5 years later, out of the blue. I'm living out here now. And he calls me and says, I have a great idea for a TV show, and I want you to be the host. I'm like, all right, whatever it is. You're Harold Ramis, whatever it is. He said, this is when Pimp My Ride was on MTV. He goes, I've seen that show. I want to do a show called Pimp My Wife, where you take a couple and the wife isn't as appreciated anymore, and you doll her up and you put her in a bar and you make the husband watch on camera how attractive she is to other men, and you see the other men trying to pick her up and stuff, and it rekindles, makes him realize what a valuable, beautiful woman he's married to, and reboots the whole thing. And I was like, yeah, that sounds pretty good, I guess. I'll do it. And I never heard from him again. It never happened.
At that time, I was a little confused about stand-up.
Yeah.
I was really like, I was a regular at the store. The Improv would give me spots once in a while. I didn't go to Montreal. Like, I was like the black fucking horse.
Yeah.
And we sat there because you shot in the city?
Yeah.
I shot in Kearny.
Oh, really?
I shot right where they were shooting the old Sopranos. We shot up the corner.
Oh, nice.
And it was really interesting because they were running two cameras at once. They were doing the B scene, which was the barbecue.
Uh-huh.
And the A camera was me and Anthony Lampagli in the beginning.
Oh.
And then Anthony would have to we'd take like an hour break, and Anthony would have to go change into barbecue attire and go over there. And I would sit in the front of this bar. This bar was great. This bar was great.
Yeah.
It was, you know who hung out at this bar? Nuns.
Oh, really?
Bingo. Nuns. When we went there that day at lunchtime, a bunch of nuns showed up like, what the fuck? How can this place be closed? The owner's like, I'm sorry, sisters. Go down the block. Yeah, have a little drink on me down the corner. So
New Jersey really is a different fucking
it's a fucking different.
It really is.
And I wish I was lying to you. It was nuns, 4 nuns came to lunch.
I know, but you know what's so funny of growing up there? Like he says that it makes perfect
You're
sense.
like, I know
to
that
me.
bar.
Yeah, I'm like, yeah, of course.
Hilarious.
Yeah, hilarious.
But it was funny because the wind had gotten out that De Niro was in the neighborhood.
Oh yeah.
So in between one of those takes, the sun was shining on me. They're like, Joey, get out of the sun, blah, blah. I go, let me go to my little fucking trailer. They took me shopping. Like the day I went to wardrobe, they're like, you're too big. We don't have nothing for you. Let's go shopping. They took a fucking car.
Right.
My shirt was $1,800. The leather jacket was $4.
Oh my
God. The
God.
pants were deuce. The shoes were $4. And I'm thinking of robbing this shirt. But they had already the reputation on me. Every time I went in that fucking trailer, that AD was that shirt. It was like a $2,000 silk shirt. So they were watching me. But this is when I found I'd never met De Niro. Didn't know him. I went into my trailer. And I sat in the stairs, just to get air. I took my shirt off and had like the Guido look. And I'm just sitting there fat and fucked. And I'm looking. They said, that's De Niro's trailer. You could tell, it was a huge fucking trailer.
Twice the size of everybody else.
Across the street had to be 3,000 people.
Wow.
With a little fence.
Yeah.
Like a wooden fence that they rolled.
It's like the Today Show morning show.
Yes. Today Show.
Shit.
And cops, and they were all out there. Bobby, whatever the fuck they were saying.
Yeah.
I don't think De Niro heard him, but I saw De Niro. The door walked out. Some guy walked out. And then De Niro had that suit on.
Yeah.
And then as he walked down the stairs, people started clapping. He looked at them, and he fucking slammed the door, and he pulled himself back into the thing.
Really?
And then when I went back, they said that he asked to turn the trailer around. Because he has, like, social issues. Like, he has. That's why he was stuttering and shit when you were in the room.
Wow.
He has, like, you ever see him inside the actor's studio?
No.
One of the worst episodes you'll ever see on TV.
He's a horrible interview.
Horrible. That's why he doesn't do them.
Yeah.
Because he's not on inside the actor studio. Like when the guy would say, tell me what you said to yourself before you walked into the audition. And he would go, you know already. What are you asking me for? Like, he just kept it's on the paper. What are you asking? It was horrible.
Someone, I think Conan or someone, like their first show, they got Robert De Niro. It was like the biggest thing, and it was the same thing. Horrible.
He doesn't like it. He has social issues.
Yeah.
He doesn't really like to, talk.
He's such a big star. I mean, for especially growing up where we grew up, the way we grew up.
Oh my God.
Come on. And then I ran into him like 4 years ago, like at a party, and I was starstruck. I was so starstruck by seeing him that I forgot we had done a movie together. That's how out of my head I was at the moment I saw him.
He's a very tricky guy because
Yeah.
when I shot Grudge Match, I went down there the day early.
Uh-huh.
And this is what I noticed. So don't feel bad. You ready for this story? I get there. I go to my room. I'm on, roll a joint. I go for a walk. And I ask one of the guys, where's the set? And he goes, today they're shooting 2 blocks away. Just stay on this street and walk down. So I walked down. It was the gym.
Uh-huh.
It was the gym in Louisiana. So I walked in the gym. Like everybody shook my hand. Great to have you. We're going to shoot the scene with LL Cool J and De Niro.
Nice.
Now, De Niro comes in. LL Cool. I don't say nothing. I'm sitting 60 yards away. I'm watching.
Yeah.
Slams LL Cool J's hand. They hug, fist bump. They talk a little bit. They giggle. And then they set up. They did the blocking. And, the blocking was phenomenal.
Right.
De Niro was like, what the fuck you mean you're not going to help me? And LL Cool J's like, I'm telling you, man. I'm watching that hand. I remember this.
Yeah.
But then when they put the cameras in and they said action, the first 3 takes, LL Cool J was like, cut. LL, what's happening? Nothing, man. I just can't get my words together. I'm like, what the fuck is up with LL Cool J? Like, he's not.
Yeah.
Then he picked it up, and then they kept doing it, and he finally got out of it. The next day, it was my turn to shoot with him. The next day, I had one scene with him. When he walks in and says, "You're my trainer," it looks like you ate my trainer. That line.
Yeah.
First, now he came in, Joe. Yeah. How you doing, Mr. De Niro? Call me Bobby. Nice to meet you, sir. Here's my trainer. How you doing? Nice to meet you. I don't say nothing. I don't say nothing about analyze that. I don't say nothing. I loved you in this. I shut my fucking mouth. Don't say nothing, De Niro. You know by his, but don't start with that Guido shit. I saw a kid grab him by the neck. Like some Italian kid grab him, like, Bobby. The fucking security. Get the fucking hands off Bobby. So, because every Italian thinks they know.
Yeah, right, exactly.
Bobby!
Yeah, it's like your uncle.
So fucking, sure enough, we're talking. He's like, you really a comedian? Yeah. He goes, I like this. I mean, he was great.
Yeah.
And then they go, Joe, are you ready? Sit down, take the paper. And I'm like, I got this.
Yeah.
And I went backwards, and he walked in, and the first time I looked at him, cut! Joey, what happened? Nothing. I just got overwhelmed there for a second. You see the guy from Goodfellas.
Yeah, that's right.
You see the devil from Angel Heart. You see Mean Streets. All the faces that he's been in Godfather. And you just choke.
Right.
If you want me to tell you the truth, I just choke. I choked the first 3 times. I was like, okay. And then the second day, he came up and was like, "This play light." That was the day when I told him he had man boobs.
Yeah.
And that day was great. And then there was another scene the next day where he had to call me a fat fuck. And he came over to me. He goes, "I'm gonna say fat fuck. Does that bother you? If it bothers you, I won't say it." I go, "You're Robert De Niro. If you put it in my ass right now, I will not complain. You understand me? At least I got the fucking power that De Niro fucked me in the ass." But that's the thing about him, that he is
powerful. I mean, there's so much history.
So you saw him at a party and you forgot.
I had no problem acting with him. I was fine. It wasn't a big deal. He had a woman, like as soon as they'd say cut, his hair and makeup lady was on him and like trimming him up and doing his nail. I mean, everything. And after every break, cut, back, prepping him, and I'm just standing there like an idiot. And I'm like, I start making jokes. I'm like, how's my hair? How about my hair? Anyone want to take care of my hair? And he's like, this guy with his hair. This guy really loves his hair. And we had like a good time. It was totally cool. I'm at a party. It's a New Year's Eve party. He walks in. Everyone's all flabbergasted. I'm flabbergasted. I'm like, that. I'm like, I wish I had something to say to him, like to break the ice. I get home that night. I'm like, wait, I was in a movie with him. I totally spaced out.
It's
it's powerful.
I've never seen Pacino. Like I've never seen nobody else.
Yeah,
made
me neither.
I worked with a lot. James Coburn made me stutter.
Oh yeah,
that motherfucker can make you stutter just by it. Like I walked in there, and I was overwhelmed by tears.
Yeah,
like every time I look at him, I had tears in my eyes. I thought about Bruce Lee and carrying the casket. I gotta tell you,
what a cool thing, though. I mean, what a cool thing, right? To be like bumming around New Jersey and North Bergen and sitting at the shore, and then like to have done one scene with these guys, let alone multiple stuff. I mean, that's pretty special.
You leave there
so crazy,
going, "What the fuck just happened?"
Yeah,
and you don't make a big deal about it. You just hold it someplace close to your heart.
Yeah,
and anytime a bad thought comes up, you replace that. Hey.
Yeah.
All right, so I came in a minute, but I did a movie with Robert De Niro. You know what I'm saying?
That's right.
I came in 30 seconds. You did a movie that you were phenomenal in. And I've never, we bump into each other at the store. We never got a chance to talk about it. I want to talk about it today because he's always been one of my favorite people. And I'm going to give you the breakdown. That fucking Behind the Candelabra you did.
Yeah. The Liberace movie.
That is one of the best movies. I did a bit about it on my CD. I love that movie.
It's a great, comedians love that movie.
I fucking adored that movie.
Yeah.
I mean, everybody was solid.
So great.
And let me tell you something. When I was a kid, I was tight with a gay guy that was a seamstress in a play in the city. And he would always tell me about, he would always get invited to bands and all this shit. But he was a big-time gay guy. He was friends with my mother, and he sold coke.
Right.
And he pulled the gun one day on one of my friends, and I fell in love with him. I'm like, you pulled the gun? Even if you're gay, I still love you. You're a bad motherfucker. So we became friends. And I remember being a kid and then telling me about Elton John.
Right.
And the Cubans call fags, like really out there fags, loca.
What, a loca?
Loca.
Loca.
Like loca. Like if they're just regular gay, they're maricones.
Right.
But if they're out there, like they'll suck 18 dicks with feathers on and you can throw mud at them and shit, they're locas, right? So I go, did you meet Elton John?
Yeah.
And he goes, lo conocí, I met him. Tremenda loca. Like he's like, tremenda loca. Oh my God. But he goes, not as loca as Liberace. At that time, Liberace must have done something in Cuba.
Right.
Liberace was what Madonna is to gay people today.
Right.
Liberace, like everybody knew Liberace was gay, but he was married.
Yeah.
And
mainstream America didn't know.
He's the first guy. My mother was the first person who told me Rock Hudson was gay.
Right.
My mother died in 1979.
Right.
And she used to tell me when she was a little girl in Cuba, Rock Hudson wasn't allowed to fuck men in the States. So he had to go to Cuba. So with Marlon Brando, that was their thing. And she would go down to the hotel. Yeah, Brando too. We were just talking about it yesterday, and there's an article that came because Brando sucked Pryor's dick, and Brando fucked the guy in Godfather 2 with the big dick in Cuba. What's his name? When they go see him, and the guy's comes out.
Yeah.
Well, the guy's name is the monster. What was it? Superman.
Yeah.
Superman of Cuba. And they said there's an article. There's a huge article about his biggest fan was Marlon Brando would come in with 2 showgirls and leave with him. The guy had an 18-inch dick, dead, dry. He was a lawnmower guy in the daytime, and he just fucked women at the Chinese theater at night in Cuba.
You're saying so many things that are baffling me right
Oh my God, hilarious. So whenever I combed my hair weird, my mother would go, "What are you, Rock Hudson?" And I'd say, "What the fuck are you talking about?" So one night I asked her, "What do you have against Rock Hudson? He's a fag." "No, he's not. No, he's not." And she's telling me, and I'm like arguing with her, like I reminded me of Lee. Like I got so, how can you say that? How can you say that? Where do you get balls? Your balls. Where do you get balls to say Rock Hudson's gay? She's like, all right, believe what you want to believe. She died in 1979, dog. He came out in 1985.
It was a big deal.
I'm sorry, Ma. You were telling me the truth. So this Martin Maricon guy was telling me about that nobody does what Liberace does.
Wow.
He told me that Liberace came to New York and he was just fucking and dumping. Like just fucking and dumping.
What does that mean?
Like just picking kids.
Just going out.
10 people
one and
to
done.
his room, one and done, out. And they give you a check on the way out. Here's $500. Here's a gold ring for your fucking asshole. Boom, boom,
he lived
boom.
his own way, that Liberace.
Liberace was
what was so crazy is his biggest audience was housewives. Like he had a TV show and he'd play his piano and he would be talking to these housewives through the camera, and they loved him and adored him and had no idea that he was, especially at the time, was living this affluent gay lifestyle. They had that wouldn't even have crossed their mind.
Wow.
Yeah.
If you really think about it, Michael Douglas hit it out of the park on that.
Oh, him and Matt
hit it.
Come on.
Out of the fucking park.
So great.
That, I mean, Michael Douglas has done some great movies.
Yeah.
Before that, you know what my favorite movie with Michael Douglas is that nobody knows about? A film called Star Chamber.
I don't know.
1984, him and Hal Holbrook.
Oh, really?
They were judges.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, nobody remembers that movie. If you haven't seen Star Chamber, look it up, guys. It's a 1983 movie about judges that if you beat them in court, they send a hitman.
Whoa.
To come get you. So if you, like, let's say you come in and go, Tom Papa was arrested with 10 kilos of coke. His attorney comes in and goes, yeah, but the warrant specified a brown house. The house is actually green. Drop the charges. Fucking, they would have a council that night. And next thing you know, you're in your room party and some guy comes and shoots you with a fucking gun.
That's a good movie.
Oh, but they weaved it with a story.
Very few bad movies in Michael Douglas.
Yeah. No, they weaved it with a story about a kidnapping of 2 kids in a van. So it was very well done.
Oh, cool.
And then he tries to get out. Michael Douglas tries to get out. But beside that, I mean, and inside, when he takes his fucking hair off, the voice, his voice.
They really, they knew it was a great story, and they respected the story and the characters and just gave it their all. And these guys are just brilliant actors.
Now, was that a book?
It was a book first, yeah. No, actually, I don't think it was a book.
Where'd they get this information from? Because the balls.
Or maybe it was the guy, Matt's character, I think.
I think it was
had
Matt's
written
character.
Something. Yeah.
And I think a couple other people wrote something. But that was the 70s when people wouldn't listen to you. The studios didn't give a fuck.
No. And
he
had his own problems. But it was just such a
He really died of
cool
HIV, correct?
Yeah.
He was one of the first ones.
Yeah. They called it a watermelon, complications from a watermelon diet, because nobody was talking about AIDS at the time.
But then they dug him up in the book or something, and they did an autopsy, and they revealed.
Yeah, I think they knew it. I think they just tried to through publicity say that. But yeah, it was Soderbergh is a genius to begin with, and that he put me in what is one of his favorite movies that I mean, it's one of his favorites, and that I'm in it at all was
Where'd you shoot that?
great. Here, shot it in like Beverly Hills, shot it in Palm Springs, shot it downtown, some jazz club. Yeah, all around here. It was great. It was
still
just
go
a
to acting
summer.
class?
Huh?
You still go to acting class?
No.
Do you want to? Are you interested?
No.
Me neither.
You know, I think a big part of the game is just to be yourself and be confident. And I think we've got that at this point. You know, I just don't go audition for a lot of stuff.
Not anymore. They come in. No, nothing. I try to tell people. I know actors that are ready to shoot themselves.
It's hard. I love acting. I wish I was in more movies. I wish I was doing more of it. But I'm not great at auditioning. I'm never on my agent, like, get me more. Like, I don't know. I have to, like, get it through people I know or stuff I've written myself. You know,
I cherry pick.
Huh?
I cherry pick.
Yeah, like if they send you something and it's like for a sitcom to play some goofy part, you just say no, right? Yeah, you can't go out for everything.
Some sitcoms, it's funny how 20 years ago, if you called me and said I have an audition in San Francisco, I'd ride a bicycle there.
Yeah.
And the last 8 years after the strike,
Yeah.
the game changed so much that you were like, you know what? Like, I started getting calls at 11 o'clock for a 1:30 producer session.
I know.
And I'm like,
no prep.
I'm not doing that.
Right, exactly.
I'm not doing that.
Yeah, because you're going to be horrible.
Downtown, 4:30, like they call you at 2:15.
Right.
Like, we're going to send you the sides right now. Just come down and give it a shot. You know what? I appreciate it. But if you go one time, then they'll make you do it again.
Yeah, and
So you can't bust. I did all that stuff. You know, that kid won
you
from,
do when you need it.
from Modern Family. And he said something interesting. He goes, thank you, LA. I went to all the auditions, even the ones at 4:30 down at Ocean, down in this place in Santa Monica.
Yeah.
Where you go to audition, like when they would call you on a Friday. I said, you had a 3:15 down there.
Oh, God.
Your fucking heart would stop.
You're not coming home till Saturday.
There was two fucking places that I hated.
Yeah.
That place and Bundy. Ocean something and Bundy. They were for commercials. I'll never forget going down to Bundy, taking 2 hours to get there from Hollywood on a Friday for a 5:15 audition. And all they wanted me to do was put my hands in front of the camera and then take them out. And they were like, thank you for coming.
Oh.
And I remember walking out going, I got to start punching these motherfuckers.
Yeah.
Like I did
brutal.
all that shit.
I
Like,
know.
I don't feel guilty at all anymore. When they call me, like they called me a couple of years ago for a TV show.
Yeah.
And this is what happens sometimes. Sometimes you have to say no.
Yeah.
Like I'm dying up here. They called me like, we really want you for this part. Just come down and audition. It's yours. And I was like, I don't want to be a fucking Italian tailor.
Uh-huh.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I know.
I'm at an age now, and I've been here so long that I just cherry pick.
Yeah.
I hear things. If you say something to me, I hear things. I see a book I like, I read it, and I find out it's an option.
Yeah.
And I start banging it out that way to
Right,
the back.
right,
There's
right.
a role in there. There's something I'm working on now
Smart.
that when it hits HBO, it's going to be tremendous.
Right.
And I've been looking at the different angles, and I'm looking for one role. I know the role I want.
Right.
They're not going to give me the mobsters. They're not going to give me the Cubans. They're not going to give me the Jewish roles. There's one role,
Right.
and that's the one I want. And I'll
Right.
cherry pick.
Smart.
So I'll do everything for that role.
That's really smart.
You know, I used to send my own audition tapes in.
Oh, yeah?
Like you would call me and go, Joey, they're doing a mafia movie. 2004, 2005, Joey, they're doing a New York movie with Denzel Washington. I booked American Gangster the first time with tapes. I would get the script from my friend at ICM, who's long gone, and I would get the script. If there was 3 Italian roles,
Yeah.
I'd pick the one with the least lines. And I'd send them in.
You just record on your own?
Record on my own. I'd pay a buddy of mine. He had a house up here and
Right.
all this stuff. And I'd do the whole audition. And I got into the
Wow.
rhythm of that what I wanted.
Yeah, that's
a friend
so
of mine
great.
once told me, a casting director's job is to get the role booked.
Right.
She wants to do it as quick as possible.
Right.
Sometimes your agent doesn't have the juice to get you in the room or something.
yeah.
Fuck it. I used to overboard that shit.
So
I used to
smart.
override that shit. I would look at the script,
Yeah.
pick the least of the sides I wanted. Even if there was a second guy I wanted,
Right.
let's go with this one. Why be a fucking pig?
Right.
Go with that one.
realistic.
Send the tape in, or I would drop it off.
So
What's
smart.
this? Who are you? Listen, just give this to fucking John, whatever. But who are you?
And you
Doesn't
booked
matter.
through that. that way.
When Adam Sandler, Longest Yard, they were like, we want Big Pussy or Tony Saragusa.
Yeah.
And I went home and I ate and I was in Houston. I said, first of all, Adam Sandler's a comic.
Right.
Saragusa and Big Pussy, great actors,
Right.
great people, but they're not comics. They
Yeah.
didn't do Buffalo. They've never done Buffalo. They've never done North Tonawanda. That was really my logic.
Yeah.
They never followed Paul Mooney at the store.
Right.
30 nights in a row. So let me put it on tape. That was my logic.
So, yeah.
And that's it.
So smart. I know. I mean, because like the worst thing that could happen to you as a comic is to get a part playing a dad in some young girl's sitcom. You're not working as a comic anymore. You're invisible to the audience that wants to see you. You're trapped into this contract with this show where you're kind of in obscurity. You're working, but nobody knows where you are. Nobody knows what you're doing. So why would you chase after that stuff? If you're an actor, okay, that's the end game, is to get a part in anything. But for comedians, you got to be in the right thing.
You never wanted to do a show for 6 years on ABC and just call it quits?
No.
When they gave you a check after 6 years?
If it was
Now
the
you
Tom
can just-
Papa show,
Okay.
sure.
Okay.
If it was, if it was a sitcom where people are going to know, hey, that's Tom in that thing. They offered me. They kept calling me for this show on the CW. They really want you to play this father on the CW. Shoots in Toronto. Why not put me on a cruise ship and just put a bullet in my head? Really? I mean, what would that do for me? It'd be isolation. Look, if I needed the money, if I was like really desperate, but I'm going to be away from my family, away from my friends, away from comedy, just in obscurity doing that. That's the difference between just an actor and an actor comedian. You know, you can't imagine if you had to stop doing stand-up for the rest of your days.
I would never stop.
You look
know,
like you're contemplating it.
Well, we're two different ages.
Uh-huh.
You know, what you do at 30 and what you do at 50 is two different fucking things.
Sure.
How you would have to treat me on a show now is, I tell you right off the bat, first of all, I want to be shot out first.
Right.
I'm an old man.
Yeah.
That fucking 12 to 12 shit is not going to work.
Right.
So we're going to do 3 takes.
Yeah. At 10 o'clock in the morning.
At 10 o'clock in the morning. You know, I loved, you have to know who you have on the set and what you have on the set.
Yeah.
Okay, I really loved that girl from Saturday Night Live, the one that went on to do 40 Rock. What's her name?
30
Oh,
Rock?
Tina Fey.
Tina Fey. She
Yeah.
gave somebody a chance that is completely nuts.
Uh-huh.
But she was a genius how she used them.
Uh-huh.
And you have to, when you have a comic on the set, you have to know the psychology of
Yeah.
Nothing bothers me more when a director has you sitting around for 12 hours. We're comedians. You got like a 3-hour window, bitch.
That's right.
And after that, you want to keep us around till 8,
Yeah.
58 hours? I'm in. But don't put me in 3 scenes at 8
Right.
and then come back to me at 6.
Right.
That party's gone. That
Yeah.
muscle is gone. That just doesn't make sense.
No.
That just doesn't.
And you're going to be right.
Me.
And you're not going to get the best out of the person.
When I heard that she used to, Rogan said it once. He goes, Rogan said if I ever had a show and put Diaz on, just off the bat, he told me this.
Uh-huh.
He goes, first of all, I wouldn't want you around all day. Because that's when it's trouble. So in my world, I'll just shoot you out by 11.
Yeah.
When I heard that
Yeah.
she had the show, Tina Fey, she would shoot him out quick. You
Right.
don't want him around past 5 hours.
That's so
Telling
smart.
people his finger smells like rape and all that shit.
Exactly.
You
Getting
don't
bored,
need that.
showing up
you don't
people's
fucking need
trailers.
that. Yeah. So just get him in. I
Yeah.
know he's a pain in the ass. Just get him out by
Yeah.
11. That's his. And that's what they don't. That's when I get pissed off.
Right.
You know.
Yeah.
A comedian and a
Yeah.
comedic actor. Nothing pisses me off more
Right.
than we're compared to comedic actors.
Yeah.
That gets under my craw.
Yeah,
I am
yeah.
not a comedic actor. I am a stand-up that does comedy.
Right.
That's a big difference with a little bit of formal training.
Yeah.
Did you have a lot of training?
No, not a lot. I mean, all through college I did it.
Did you go to acting classes in New York ever?
Yeah. I went to HB Studios.
How were they?
They were good. It just felt cool to all of a sudden be in New York in an acting class. And then I also went to this other woman, Sheila Gray. I went to her for a couple of years. So I've had a good amount, I guess. But I loved being in New York around other actors, especially when you're doing it that way and you realize, oh, there's, you think it's all going to be Brando, and you're like, I'm as good as these people. I'm all right. I can do this. This is going to be okay. And then you learn a lot. And I think I got to a point where I'm really confident and can be myself and do a really good job. I think I'm a good actor. But then watching like Damon and Michael Douglas when they were doing their thing in that movie, and you're like, all right, all the time I've put in as a comic, which makes me really great that way, these guys, they're doing something at a different level.
Yeah.
As good as I think I am, and I think, maybe I don't need as much training, it might be worth it if you want to be like those guys. But they might also just have a certain thing that makes them great. That's innate thing and all the time that they put in. But they are a different level, for sure.
What's the guy, Christopher Walken?
Yeah.
I heard that when he did a scene and they yelled, cut, the fucking place would applaud.
Right.
Like he would suck you into the fucking scene.
Right.
Like there's people that you see, I'll tell you who's
They're
dangerous.
great.
That fucking English guy that played Batman. Like when
Christian Bale?
Like when he played the junkie on the Irish thing. He's dangerous. That's a different level.
Right. Those guys, I know. Like, we can act. Those guys are actors.
That's a different game,
Yeah.
Like I watch a guy like McQueen, he's mediocre, I think, in my world.
Oh, really?
Brando, let me tell you something, man. I watched something the other night, and I'm very emotional. Like when I watch something good that inspires me, I break down.
Yeah.
I cried last night during the NCAA finals. When they were tied up, I was crying because that's what I wanted to be. I was eating pasta fazool last night. I had to go for this stress test.
Yeah.
So I didn't want to eat heavy.
You're right.
So I made my wife make me this pasta fazool,
Nice.
this Puerto Rican pasta fazool she makes with some grass from the backyard. Instead, we put spinach. There's no arugula out here.
Right.
And I just made a little salad with blue cheese and lettuce, tomato, onions. And I made it a point to listen to the starting five.
Uh-huh.
Like I made it a point.
Yeah.
Like I was at the dinner table.
Yeah.
I wanted to hear where they were from because the first time I knew that I could do something was when I watched the NCAA finals. I was watching Marquette against North Carolina.
Uh-huh.
And when they said from Jersey City, New Jersey, Michael Corrin, like I just broke down.
Yeah.
And last night I listened just to see if they had
amazing?
If they had anybody from Jersey.
Yeah.
Like that's every year in the finals. I go every year. There's always one motherfucker from Jersey. Last night there was a dude from Philly.
Yeah.
He started for Texas Tech or Virginia, and there was a dude from New York.
Right.
And you could see the dude from New York had that New York shit, but there was a kid from Woodland Hills.
Oh,
And
yeah.
I fucking cried. Like I was like, there was a
I
massacre
know,
there.
yeah.
The whole thing.
It means a lot.
Half a Filipino kid from Woodland Hills.
It's great. I had a similar thing when I was a kid. I was watching basketball, and it was a college game, and there was a guy from my town, from Woodcliff Lake, and the same thing. I was like, what? Can I get out of here? He did it. Let's go. It's amazing. I'm emotional too that way.
It's crazy. All the people that really, really came out of, like, I didn't know Nathan Lane
Yeah.
was from Jersey City. He went to St. Peter's Prep.
Well,
I
didn't know that.
I bought Pink Floyd tickets at St. Peter's Prep.
Jack Nicholson.
Jack Nicholson's from Neptune.
Yeah.
Correct? You ever go to Neptune?
No.
Joe Theismann.
Yeah.
All those guys, I was telling, I think Tebow and whatever, a story about my 8th grade year when the hottest basketball player in the country, whose name was Kelly Tripucka.
Oh, yeah.
Do you remember that?
Yeah,
From
yeah.
Bloomfield. Where
Yeah.
they killed Tony Soprano.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Kelly, if you go to Denver Stadium.
They didn't really kill him.
No. If you go to Denver Stadium, like Denver, wherever Denver plays,
Yeah.
he's in the Ring of Fame.
Wow.
His father owns a big beverage company, Tripucka Liquors.
Oh, yeah.
And most basketball players at the time were scoring 1,000 points in 4 years.
Right.
He was scoring 1,000 points a year at Bloomfield.
Oh, Jesus.
Like he was touted the next best thing. And I remember I had to take a bus. We played him in high school.
Wow.
And I took a bus to the state semifinals to watch him play.
Wow.
The coach from Notre Dame was there. You know what that's like?
Jeez. Was he amazing to watch at that point?
He was 20 from 24 from the field.
Jesus.
Oh, my God.
And he made 4 free throws. And you know how we beat him? We beat him.
Really?
Because he was the only guy on his team.
Right, right.
But we beat
Three
him
guys
with,
on him.
Yeah, he missed a slam dunk or an alley oop at the end by just a fucking pussy hair, and we beat him by one.
Oh, that's
But he ended
great.
up going to Notre Dame. He played for the Pistons.
Wow.
You know, you see all these people, and you're like, I could do that.
Yeah, I know. They show you there's a
I
way.
could fucking do that.
Yeah. We're not
That's
we're
why
not
I was
different.
so disappointed about college. Like when I
Yeah.
went to college, I was like, fuck.
Right.
I
Yeah.
quit high school. I was like, Jesus Christ.
Right.
All I ever want to do is play in the finals.
Yeah.
Even if I lost,
Right.
I talk shit till the end. You ever see those guys, that episode of 30 for 30 about North Carolina?
Yeah.
When they do the talk and they're all sitting around.
Yeah.
And he said, Coach said that, thank God you didn't throw the ball to the white guy. He would have shit his pants. And he's like, Coach didn't say that. That's a fucking lie. You know, that camaraderie.
Yeah. Exactly.
You know, when you win a
I
finals,
know.
like people remember that. You could do whatever you want at that school.
Oh, yeah.
You can molest
Forget
people.
it.
You can Harvey Weinstein bitches. You know, you could send your kid for no college.
No, you got a free pass, a lifetime pass.
When did you
For
decide
free.
on the stand-up?
I wanted to as a kid, like in 7th grade. I realized like I was funny, and then I realized like that it was a job. Like I heard Steve Martin's and Let's Get Small and George Carlin's Class Clown in one summer, and I was like, oh, these are grown-ups doing this, being funny for a living. From that point on, I was like, I want to do that. I want to be a comedian, and I didn't. And I would like record stuff when I had a job as in college as a security guard in this housing development in the winter, where I would just sit in my car. There was nobody coming to this housing development. It was in the middle of like East Windsor, like nothing, cornfields, and they're building some houses, and I had to sit in my car in the cold with a little space heater, and I would just sit out there by myself for hours. That was my job. And I started recording stand-up on a recorder in the car because I'm by myself going crazy. And I was just, getting high and just talking to myself. I started putting down bits, and I'd bring them back and play them for my roommates and stuff, and they didn't think they were any good. But then I got out of college, and because I had acted so much, I was like, oh, maybe I went to HB Studios, and I'm living in Jersey again. I'm living in Paramus, and I'm thinking maybe I'll try and get parts. And it was like, you're such a minefield. Like, how do you get a part in anything? I don't have an agent. I don't know. Does that happen? I was looking at the Village Voice, and I was like, oh, I don't need permission to do stand-up. It says right here I can go to the New York Comedy Club if I have 2 friends that'll buy a ticket and buy the drinks. Let's go. Jason, Sean, get in the car. We're going. June 12th, 1993. It was my first one.
City. I was in New York City.
Is that funny? Yeah, that was my very first time.
What did you think on the ride home?
I was electric. I was like, oh yeah, this is it. I'm doing this. This is what I'm going to do. I walked in. Greg Giraldo was waiting to go on, and this other kid was hosting. It was just the 3 of us, and my friends were the only ones really in the audience. And I met Giraldo, and we became friends like immediately.
Was he already? No, he wasn't a star yet.
No, he was just starting. He was nervous, shaking like a leaf, no beard, just all totally terrified, but smart and funny. And we just hit it off and did that first set, couple jokes, whatever. But it was a rush. I'd never been in a comedy club before that night. I'd seen comedy, but I'd never been in a club. And just became pals with him and just didn't stop. That was it. I was like, oh, I don't have to. I saw comedy as like, a very just part of show business. It's like, all right, if we walk into these clubs, all of a sudden I'm hosting shows at Stand Up New York, and Jon Stewart's on the show, and Brett Butler's on the show, and as long as I'm funny, I can stay. I can stick around. That seemed very just to me. It didn't matter who you knew. It didn't matter what agent you had. It's just, if I can get up on the same stage as these people and make the people laugh as much as they're laughing at them, that's all I've got to do. I can do that. I could just keep working at doing that. And that was it.
I remember going to Jersey in 90. Right after I started, I went to Jersey. It was 91. I started in June or July, and it was September. And fucking Jay Moore was already big in the city.
Yeah.
The black kid that's still around from Jersey, from Newark or something, Bill Bellamy.
Oh, Bill Bellamy,
Bill Bellamy was already
Yeah, he
rocking
was
and
big.
rolling. Because I remember buying one of those newspapers. And I was interested, but I was such a pussy. I didn't go out in 91. I was there for 2 weeks.
Oh, really?
And I kept saying, I'm going to go up, I'm going to go up. I never went out. I was such a pussy. And then the second time I came was January of 93. And right away I started going over. I met Bob Gonzo. He booked shows in Jersey.
Yeah.
He would give you $5.
Yeah, I know.
I would drive down the shore and he'd give me a $5 bill. Like,
and you were happy?
And you were happy.
Happy.
You were happy that you got $5 fucking.
Yeah, they're giving me money to do this.
He had a room in North Bergen, at Romano's restaurant.
All right.
And I went down there with like 18 gorillas. And he told me he wasn't going to go up. Next thing he came up and was like, dog, your friends threatened me. I gotta put you up. My friend's like, we'll light this place on fire. You better put them up. And I went up there deep. And whenever I go home now, my friends always go, remember when we all went to see at Romano's? Harmon Cove had a room.
Yeah.
In Secaucus, next to Clifton. That's next to Clifton.
Yeah.
Right, where your father's
Yeah.
Your father's up by from Route 3.
Right, exactly.
It used to be, call your father right now and ask him about the Clifton Drive-In Theater.
Oh, yeah.
That was where I saw Five Fingers of Death. I saw so many movies.
I'm sure my parents were there. They were dating in high
Clifton,
school. Yeah.
Route 3 was,
if
you didn't want to go to the city or like North Bergen and whatever,
right,
you had to drive in out in Clifton by Moonachie. Ask your father how ugly the people are in Moonachie. You have never seen uglier people in your life than Moonachie. They all got big heads. They're confused. They're bumping heads on the street. Moonachie's like 8 blocks. I don't know how they have so many ugly people with big heads. But they have a tremendous restaurant called Segovia.
Oh, yeah?
Like a Portuguese
paella,
paella, garlic shrimp.
Is it still there?
Shrimp. I heard it's still there. Last time I was there, they asked us to leave. It was 93. We started drinking those $16 pitchers.
Those sangrias.
Sangrias. And then there's a place. See, that I was hoping to go to Newark, to go to the Spanish Kitchen.
Yeah.
If there's that one. Have you ever been there?
I've been to that district.
They have a place called the Spanish Kitchen.
Yeah.
I took me and Rogan went.
Oh, yeah.
Rogan took me.
Right.
Who the fuck am I kidding? I suggested. He goes, I'll take you. Next thing you know, we're drinking sangrias. He's got a UFC fight. This had to be a long time ago. A couple of years ago.
Wow.
Yeah,
that's good stuff.
Let me tell you something, Papa. I love your stand-up. I love you.
Thanks, man.
You said
Likewise.
one of the funniest things a couple months ago on fucking Conan. I saw that you, like, I don't watch those fucking shows.
Yeah, me neither.
But if I'm scrolling and I see a friend,
of course,
I tape it. And then when I come back from the store or fucking doing a podcast with Lee, I'll watch it.
Yeah.
And you were like real subtle, and all of a sudden you're like, yeah, my show's about food. What's wrong with eating a piece of bread from time to time? Everybody's walking around keto diet. I gotta hang out with Joe Rogan telling me about fuck you, just dip the bread. And I'm like, you know what? That's exactly what I'm gonna do. And a couple weeks ago, I was on JetBlue Mint, and they give you that little Italian bun, like a little bun. I fucking stuck my finger in it. And I put olive oil in it, and I ate it like an Italian. It splurged all over me. I'm like, that's for Tom Papa.
Yeah, man. I don't understand why after thousands of years of eating bread, why we show up and they say it's bad for you. It doesn't make any sense. We've been eating it, nourishing ourselves for the history of mankind, and we show up in 2019 and you can't eat bread. I'm like, something's wrong. And then I realized we're not eating bread. We're eating this chemical concoction that they call bread. When I started baking the bread on my own.
Oh, this is you baking it?
That's why I made that for you.
Oh my God, thank you. I thought you went to a bakery and.
No, I made that bread for you this morning.
So when did you start baking bread? How'd you get into this?
I started it like 5 years ago. A friend of mine, we were working on a TV show and he was into it. And he started telling me like there's this natural yeast and a sourdough starter. And that's what they used to make bread out of. And I started doing it. And I told my family about it. Like there's this, you put flour and water in a bowl, and this yeast goes in and makes this living organism, this sourdough starter, and you can make bread from it. My daughter, for Christmas, got one started for me. On the secret, she just started mixing flour and water and got the thing going, and I just started baking it. And real bread is flour, water, salt, and yeast. That's it. Flour, water, salt, and yeast. If anything else is added, you're not really eating real bread. And I've been baking it like crazy, got great at it. I started the show on the Food Network because of it. It just went like wildfire. And we eat this bread all the time, and no one's getting fat from it. No one's getting sick. No one's getting fat. This is good for you. We should be eating good bread. So it was on Conan. I'm like, No, I mean, I'm like preaching it everywhere I go. I'm like, if you eat real bread, you're allowed to eat real bread. You, Joey Diaz, are allowed to eat bread. Don't eat Frankenstein bread.
Let me ask you this. What do you think about the Italian diet?
The Mediterranean diet or the
Well, no. I'm talking about
just
like,
the way we eat, like Jersey Italian?
I think the Italian. Me and Rogan have had this conversation. I can't stand when people put down pasta.
Yeah, I know.
It drives me crazy.
I know. I can't.
Italian people been eating pasta since Christopher fucking Columbus. And now you want to show up and tell me carbs are no fucking good. I can see, I know fucking
Right.
Italians that are ripped.
Yeah.
I was a hard carrier for a summer.
Right.
And that guy had, to this day, I'm emulating his diet today.
Right.
He ate 5 times a day.
Uh-huh.
The only thing I'm not doing that he does because I'm a pussy is he would fucking get a little wine glass, pour red wine and saran wrap it. And then at lunchtime, he'd take it out, eat it with pears and shit.
No way.
But he lived to like 90.
Wow.
Like, I kept in touch with his son until, I don't know, this was in Fort Lee, New Jersey.
Yeah.
He would eat, and then I worked at a hot carrier in North Bergen when I was a kid, and he would do everything by hand. There was no nothing. You had to go.
Right.
And that guy, Angelo Severino's his name is. His father lived to be 90.
Right.
And he used to eat, you can't eat a fucking thing like this of pasta.
No, of course.
A little
Yeah.
cup with marinara meat sauce, like a little meat sauce. Oh, forget the meatball.
Yeah.
I don't even need the fucking
Right.
meatball at this age.
You can even take the meat out of it. and just
Really?
do it
You will? I like the marinara too.
I do too,
But,
but-
you know what? If we're going to eat, let's eat. That's mine.
Right.
What the fuck? You got to understand, I was a Cuban kid.
Yeah.
And when I came from the United States, all I wanted to do was eat white food.
Right.
Like when I lived on 205 West 88th Street, the only Italian I knew about was the spaghetti my mother made,
Right.
which is Cuban style spaghetti, which is delicious, and the pizza joint on 86 and Broadway.
Ooh.
And then there was a black guy at my mother's dry cleaners that made spaghetti and meatballs on Wednesdays that Italian people in the Bronx would come up and eat. His name was Black Mike. There was Black Mike and White Mike. Mikey Black and Mikey White.
Right.
He was the presser at my mother's dry cleaner, and then
Yeah.
he doubled as a cook upstairs for the numbers operation.
Wow.
When I moved to Jersey, I could lie to you people all you want. I didn't know nothing about Italian food. I was hooked on that shit, fettuccine Alfredo, that now I want to kill kids. Because my daughter loves pasta.
Yeah, it
My
was
daughter
big in
loves
the
pasta.
80s. It was a big
In the
thing.
80s, my mom,
Yeah.
I want fettuccine Alfredo. My mom would go, you don't understand. In Cuba, the Italians put lobster on their pizza.
Right.
In Cuba, everything was seafoodish. It
Right,
was like,
yeah,
I don't know
sure.
what Italians moved to Cuba, but it was very
Yeah.
seafoodish. And when I started, I would go, John Bender was the first person who took me to his house. And his sister was a hair cutter, a barber. And on Wednesday, she would cut hair in the living room, and they would make a big bowl of pasta in the kitchen. Was from here to there. There'd be hair flying everywhere. And the mother would make that red lead, and I still remember going over to their house. I was very Americanized.
Yeah.
And she said to me, "What's your name?" And I'm like, "Coco Diaz." And I would just put my head up, and
Yeah.
I would because they were the first people that ever showed me how to put polio ricotta on the fucking spaghetti, which is a different level.
I know.
Like, you can have your spaghetti and meat sauce all you want.
Yeah.
Once you figure out that ricotta, I'm like, what's this for? Like, put a lump in there, mix it up. I'm like, oh my God. Oh my God, what is this? So we cut a deal. I told him, bro, your mom is the best. You would put sausage and meat in the sauce. And then the first time I had pasta fazool,
Oh, yeah.
and my dick got hard for 48 hours straight. 48 hours I had a hard on. She took it out of the freezer with the spinach and the fucking
Forget it.
whatever else is in there. There's something else in there.
Escarole.
Escarole.
Yeah.
That shit'll get your dick hard. You can eat a crack hoe's asshole and fucking eat pasta fazool, and they test you the next day and you're fine. I became in love with that shit.
Yeah. No,
I
there's
Big
such.
Z.
How old were you when that hit you then? You're like
12. And you know what she
12.
would say to me? Whenever I eat spaghetti at the house, she'd go, "Good country, America, huh? Speak like fucking Italian food, huh?"
Yeah, but I mean, man,
God.
it's just such a part of your blood at that point when you grow up on it. And I come out here and there's Monte Carlo's, the Pinocchio place on Magnolia. It's like if Sunday, this is how I plan my comedy travel. If I can fly into Burbank, come home for my shows on Sunday morning, I'm so happy. I'm on the plane thinking about what I'm going to eat. I'm writing down my list of what I'm going to do. I land at Burbank, get the car, drive to Monte Carlo. You walk into this Italian deli, the stuff hanging from the ceiling. They've just got everything from my childhood is just around me. They've got to give me boxes to carry the stuff to my trunk.
You don't eat the food.
What?
You just get the stuff from the deli.
I get the stuff from the
food
deli.
is, oh my God.
I know.
The food is questionable. Every time I go there, I tried.
It's
The
sloppy.
Lord
It's
knows
too
I
sloppy.
tried.
I know.
I try to go to this other place in Encino. My daughter loves it. Oh my God, I can't say the name because they're nice people. But you sit there and you're like, I can't do this no more.
Yeah.
Every time I go there, I have the lentil soup and the chopped salad.
Yeah.
That's what I'm down to.
The pizza. If you go to the place over there, you could eat the pizza. But
Where?
at Monte Carlo.
No. No. After I had the spaghetti, listen, if you fuck up pork fried rice, our conversation's over. Right or wrong? You're gonna
Who's
try
making pork fried
I'm
rice?
just saying. I'm
Right,
just giving you the
right.
difference. If you fuck up a gyro,
Right.
I'm not eating your baklava. Okay?
Right.
If the gyro sucks, we ain't moving any further. If the pork fried rice sucks, we ain't moving no further. And if the spaghetti sucks, we can't move because I can make a fucking me. I'm a retard. And I can make spaghetti with Prego. That's better than fucking Pinocchio's. And I'm sorry to say that.
But their deli section
The deli section
is like
good.
being in Italy.
My wife
it's like
gets some
being in
mortadella.
Arthur's Avenue.
Oh my God, we had a little
It's-
mortadella with the crackers.
Oh, come on.
At 2 a.m, you're
Come on.
eating mortadella. We lied to my daughter. We tell her it's bologna. She shoved it in the face like a fucking savage.
Love it. And I just load up and I go home and I cook, and I want to cook just for the family. My whole Sunday after being on the road is just go in, get oil in the pan, get garlic and onion going. The house is changed. It's filled with something. I've got my bread, and I just start cooking for everybody. And that to me is everything. That's everything.
Tom Poppy, you're a true family man. I love you with all my heart. It's getting fucking hot in here. What dates you got coming up, my brother?
I'm going to Cobb's this weekend. Is this coming out this week?
Next week.
Next week. Just go to tompapa.com. You'll see all my dates. I'm pretty much all over the place. I'm kind of at the end of my tour. I'll be winding down in a little bit.
Do you take time off?
Not really, but like I'll have these runs where I'm just like going heavy, and then
Can't do it. No
and
more,
then
Pops.
I'll be here.
I can't do it no more.
I haven't been at the store in like a month because I've just been on the road hitting it hard
I could do every other week
every other week.
if you put a gun to my head.
Right.
Back to back. I
Yeah.
don't want to go out. I don't want to. It's too much.
Yeah.
You know, you'll see as the years.
Yeah, no, I
this
feel
is
it.
Last week, Pittsburgh.
Yeah.
2 fucking planes and a 40-minute drive.
Yeah.
You need 80 fucking chiropractors.
I know.
When you get
it's
off the
really
plane, I had to
true.
go to fucking chiropractor. My wife had to shoot me with a machine gun.
It's
I had to
true.
put DMV. What's that shit on your back? That CBD line.
CBD oil.
Yeah, you know, it's just too much.
I know.
I think,
It is.
next year, I'm doing the direct plane flight. The direct flight tour.
Yeah, that's
it.
That's smart.
It. That's it. Except for Buffalo.
That's
I gotta
really
go to Buffalo,
smart.
but I'm gonna fly into Kennedy, do something, and then fly to Buffalo.
Yeah.
I can't do that fucking
That
connect
connect
to
to the
Buffalo.
thing,
yeah.
to the thing.
And Buffalo JetBlue, you gotta wait 2 fucking hours. At Kennedy,
I
yeah, they got
know.
Palm and shit, but I don't want.
I've been on the small market. I want to call it the "What are you doing here" tour, because every time I see people after the show, they're like, "What are you doing here?" And they're hard to get to. They're great places, but it's hard to get to.
Yeah, Pittsburgh's a great place. It's just hard to get to.
Yeah. But
Papa,
man, you're the
thank
best. I always love seeing you.
Thank you very much for
You're
coming
just
on.
a-
Thank you for the bread.
Yes. Now I hope you
I'm gonna dip it in olive oil tonight. I'm not doing too good. I'm gonna dip it in olive oil
a little
and relax
cheese,
tonight.
maybe some olive oil.
Nice.
You're done. You don't
have
need
an-
a meal.
You have an open door here.
Toast
if you
in the
wanna
morning?
Promote it. Yes. Nice. Oh, you could slice that. That's right. Put a nice fucking egg yolk on it with butter underneath, toasted.
I don't have to tell you what to do.
No, you think I got this skinny because I fucking eat fucking scrambled eggs. I love you, Tom Papa.
You too.
All right, I want to thank my man Tom Papa. I want to thank the Christ Killer, but most importantly, I want to thank you motherfuckers on a Monday morning for spending time with us. Again, I want to thank our sponsors. The church is brought to you by Manscaped. Listen, there was a long fucking time ago. I told my wife, because I can't see, I told my wife, you got to trim around the fucking joystick. And I'll tell you what, I had to close my eyes and pray. But guess what? Because of Manscaped, those days are over. No more fucking anxiety, and your nuts and your dick could look completely bellamissimo. You know what I'm saying? I got to go international today. Don't cut your dick off, fucko. The suffering ends now. Why? Because I'm going to get you through this with Manscaped. You could get it done without the pain, without the anxiety. They got precision tools for you, your family jewels, okay? Manscaped has redesigned the electric razor. Their invention is the lawnmower, a handheld razor with skin-safe technology so it won't nick or snag your nutsack. You got to go easy on what the Lord gave you. This bad boy will leave you clean, smooth, and pain-free. Plus, it's rechargeable, easy to hold. Get into all those nooks and fucking crannies, especially if you're a chubby fuck like me. Manscaped, you'll get your beanbag looking as smooth as a fucking egg. I'm going to tell you a little secret. If you trim the hedges, the tree looks a lot fucking bigger. You understand me? Trim up that fucking egg roll. At manscaped.com, you get everything you need to make your balls shine and your dick look fucking spectacular. And for the first time, if you've considered Manscaping, they got a deal for you. You ready? They got the perfect package, which comes with a lawnmower and a safety razor plus. Plus the crop preserver, specially formulated deodorant so your balls don't stink. And a spritz that tones and refreshes your junk to keep it cool. Listen, the church family can get 20% off your first order when you use promo code CHURCH at manscaped.com. Again, if you get the perfect package, forget about it. Don't throw in a free travel bag. That's tremendous. I got one in my suitcase right now as we fucking speak. Just use promo code CHURCH. So go to manscaped.com, use promo code CHURCH for 20% off your first order, all right? You got to keep your balls clean. Everybody wants to fall in love, but nobody got clean balls. Number 2, I want to thank CBDlion.com. Listen, the search is over. Go to CBDlion.com, go to the website, and just read the the third-party test results, see what the hell they're about. Listen, I live and die by CBD Lion. The tincture, twice, 3 times a day. I'm a fat fuck. The gummies after I work out. Listen, if you want to smoke shatter, the vapor pen comes with different colors so you know what you're treating. When it comes to CBD, CBD Lion is the one for you. Go to CBDlion.com right now and press in church and get 20% off. I also want to thank Onnit. Onnit.com has been there for us since day one. The supplements, Aubrey goes all the way around the world looking for the best supplements for you, all right? So I want to thank Manscaped, I want to thank Onnit, and I want to thank CBD Lion. But most importantly, I want to thank you motherfuckers for listening and giving us this shot. I got no dates on the books. It's over. I'm shooting movies. I'm smoking cigars. I'm slinging dick. And I suggest you do the same. Have a great week, and we'll see you Thursday, you little dirty bastards. Stay black. Uncle Joey loves you. Kick this motherfucking muley.